Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What Do You Say Anime? I am your host, Peter. And on today's episode, me and Pat will be discussing the summer 2021 preview. So, Patty, nice to see you again. How's it going?
Oh, it's good, man. Again, I'm enjoying my new job. As you can, if you didn't pay attention to our watch club, you would not have seen all my beautiful art that I used to have in college getting hung up. I've got stuff my roommates made.
Nice.
It's a nice little Sea Space Cowboy, good old Cowboy Bebop stuff, and a bunch of other actual prints that are starting to get trashed from years of going back and forth, but
Yep.
and not being framed. But those are going to be going up here soon, so I'm feeling excited. I'm finally getting my office and my workspace set up for working full time remote. So it's good. How are you?
I,
I don't normally ask. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I am leaving for Vegas in 2 weeks, so I'm counting down
Ooh,
the days where I get to go on my first vacation in a year and a half or something like that. So,
maybe you
I,
can catch a Golden Knights game.
I mean, maybe if they're in the
If
playoffs
they're still
still.
if they make it to the next round, I think you might be able to see like game 6 or 7 in the Stanley
I'll
Cup.
definitely be betting on those games if I'm there.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
can assure that there will be some form of transaction involving the Golden Knights.
There you
But
go.
for those who don't know, that's hockey. But on today's episode, we're gonna be talking anime. I don't know if you know, so we're an anime podcast. And
Really?
Pat, I want to get your first look at what you think this summer is going to be because the last two seasons have been absolutely stacked. And then
Yes.
looking at this season, to me at least, looks a little underwhelming. And I don't know if it's because of the actual product that we're getting or if it's just because we've been spoiled so much from this season. So let me get your initial thoughts on just like the overview of the summer 2021 anime lineup.
Yeah. So I don't know. When I first started watching seasonal anime, people would always tell me like, "Oh, usually the summer is like the weakest season of the year. It's usually like the because the big releases happen usually either in the winter or the fall, or something new comes out in the spring usually." But then when we look back at the last year's summer, we had like Doctor Stone, I think, or we had a bunch of like big hits last summer that were just phenomenal that I was just blown away by. So um, I don't know. This summer looks like ass, just to put
Yeah.
it very bluntly. Like, I don't know. Out of the normally I come into this when Pete and I are doing our prep for our previews, we normally come in with like 10 to 12 shows where we're like at least interested in them. And maybe, not all 12 were like must watches, but at least 3 or 4 of them were like dead set on, maybe
Yep.
even 5 or 6. This season, I have one show that I am dead set on watching, maybe one and a half that I know I will watch, even if I'm not that excited about it.
Yep.
And then like 4 others that I am keeping an eye on, maybe. I don't know. This could be the summer of catching up on all of the past season's misses. Is that's what it's going to really be for me, where I can finally catch up on from this past season, Vivi 86,
Yep.
finally finish Quince, like do stuff
Oh,
that I
you're
just haven't
3 months
been.
behind on that one.
No, I know I am. I'm a little bit behind. Cells at work too. They're
Yep.
not time sensitive though.
Yeah,
I
oh,
feel like
absolutely, yeah.
like versus like other shows that you're watching every week or discussing. So that's why those got put in the back burner.
Yep.
But but yeah, so I'll finally have time to catch up on those. Maybe I'll finally finish Code Geass.
Yeah, right.
Maybe someday
Yeah,
I
one
will get
day.
back on, or maybe I'll watch End of Evangelion. Maybe I'll
Ooh.
finally put that back into the. God, well, it's off. It's off Netflix. I'm pretty sure. I swear to God, I went to go watch it like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and it was not on Netflix for me, and I was so mad because I was like, I finally went to go actually watch it, and the rights were just gone. It just
Oh,
wasn't there. That sucked. But yeah, so that's I guess that's gonna be my season of this summer is going to be watching one show,
yep.
maybe two,
For sure, one,
and
yep.
for sure one. There's one without a doubt that in my mind that I will be watching and
I'm intrigued
enjoying.
to see which one it is. I have an idea. I mean, actually, I do know what it is now that I
You
think
you
about it.
have to know. You have to know which one
Yeah,
it is because it's not going to be the one that most people would think it would be based off of popularity too.
yep,
So I think that's that's a fun discussion we can have soon.
for
But
sure.
what do you think? I know you already kind of said like it feels like it's going to be a little lackluster. I came out and
Yeah.
straight up said it was ass. Are you kind of in that same boat
Um,
or?
I think we're going to get a lot of shows where I'm going to rate it like a 6, but I had fun watching it type of thing. Where it's like, this isn't like, am I going to recommend X show to somebody? Probably not, but I'm
Mhm.
probably going to watch like 12 episodes of some of the I'm trying to put this in like a nice way. It looks like we're getting a lot of like harem trash this season,
Yeah.
and depend. Some harem trash can be gold. If it's Orisuke, that's harem gold, baby. If it's
That is
Quince, that's harem
quality.
gold, baby.
Mm,
And then if we get stuff like currently airing that Osamake, which I think is just hot garbage, if we get that type of harem trash, then I don't want any of it. So I'm going to. I think I have like 16 shows on my plan to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if I dropped like 6 of them just because of the genres that they are. Because harem's really not like my biggest or like my go-to genre. I'll put it that way, and we're getting a lot of it, and I will definitely try most of them unless it just looks like a hot pile of dog shit, which one of them does, and we are not going to be mentioning it on the podcast today. So if you're looking forward to
really?
that, we're not going to be talking about it, but we will be talking about some, don't you worry. But I just want to say, like a disclaimer, going forward, we will be talking about shows that are sequels, and I'm going to do my best not to spoil anything, but there's a really good chance that we won't spoil anything. So,
Yeah.
if you are looking for a specific show that we are talking about and you don't want to hear about it, I'm gonna put the timestamps in the description below, so you can just like skip to whatever we're talking about. So, that being said, we are going to talk about what I thought would probably be the biggest show of summer. According to Mal, it's number 2, but to me, it's the like, number 1 that I'm looking forward to the most, and that's Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. And the S stands for super or spectacular or whatever. If you saw the PV, they say like 9 different things of what the S actually stands for.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what it is. But few things what I'm looking forward to this. This is the return of Kyoto Annie. It's the first anime that they made post the arson attack.
Entirely post arson attack.
Yes, and if you didn't know, the director of season 1 of Kobayashi died in that arson attack. So they have a new director. And it's more just like I'm happy to see them back because Kyoto Annie is literally probably like a top 3 studio, I would say. I think that their work speaks for itself. Anytime that you see Kyoto Annie attached to an anime, I think it draws a lot of people. I think you can say that, maybe not for you, Pat, but I know a lot of people where it's like, or at least for me, if it's Madhouse, like I'm watching it. It's like, I know
Well,
a lot
if
of
it's
people.
Kyoto Animation, I'm watching it
Yeah,
usually.
so
Yeah, there you go.
Kyoto Animation is definitely like a selling point to it. So from what I've seen, they haven't really done like a whole lot of like teasing of what it's going to be, other than that we get introduced to like a new antagonist. But to be honest, the show doesn't really have like villains or anything like that. Named Ilulu, who is a giant titty dragon. Like, I don't know if you ever seen Kobayashi, but we got big ass titty dragons. So we're adding another one to the batch. She looks fun. I don't know. It's just gonna be silly slice of life nonsense. There's like one thing that I hate about this show, and it's the Kana relationship. Hate it. Doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why it's in the show. It actually dropped it from like a 10 to a 9 for me for season 1. But yeah, Pat, your thoughts? I think you watched season 1 of Kobayashi.
Oh yeah, no, I did.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on I guess season 1, and then if you're looking forward to season 2?
Yeah, so well, I loved season 1. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I gave it an 8. Let me just double check that. It's one click away. I am like 99% sure I gave it an 8. And yes, I did. I don't know why it's not showing up, but I did give it an 8 because I remember enjoying it and laughing at it like when I first watched it like way back. And then I went back and rewatched it and I was like, it was still funny, but I was the horniness was, once it was pointed out
so
to me,
horny. It's
the
so
show
horny.
is so horny when it was pointed out to me how horny it was, I realized that I was like, okay, I'm not as about it, because like with like a good comparison I think is Konosuba, where there is horny stuff that happens in Konosuba, but it's usually played off as a joke, or it's not nearly as the focal point as it is in the show. At least to me it isn't. Maybe to others it might be, but because I know plenty of people have been turned off by the first few episodes of Konosuba, or the succubus episode. But at least that's with adults rather than in this show, where I mean, you mentioned Kana. I'm assuming you mean with like Rico, with the other like teenage, not teenage, the other child,
elementary
school child.
Yeah.
That one makes me uncomfortable. The the Shota,
The Shota.
essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially,
His name is literally Shota.
don't know why. Oh, was his name?
His name is literally Shota.
Yeah, great. So I didn't even out myself
Yeah.
there. No, the Shota guy being in a thing with Quetzalcoatl. As funny as their names are, by the way, all
Yep.
of their names are very clever. Like Fafnir being a dragon, that's a great one. But I don't know, man. I like my excitement for the show has only gone down ever since I really started thinking critically about it. I guess because that scene, like there are specific scenes that you
The
could go
Twister
to.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
it's
Twister
awful.
scene. It is perverted and awful
It's
and
awful.
disgusting. And anyone who's listened to us talk before knows how I feel about lolicons and the impact they have on the way anime and the anime community are perceived. And this is one of the worst examples of it in modern shows. So I don't know. Again, I'm excited to laugh at watching it because Toru and God, what's her name? Kobayashi, of
Yep.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, the titular character. The two of them, their interactions are really fun.
So much fun.
You know, there's a lot of Yuri baiting, a lot of like that's pretty sketch too, but at the same time,
Is
it's
it?
funny.
That's
It's played for a
interesting.
joke. It's played for a joke.
I really like their dynamic. I really like
I do
that
too. I
Yuri
think
dynamic
people
between the
don't.
two.
See, I think people don't though because it's Yuri baiting ish or whatever. People, it's same thing with like Yuri on Ice, where people will always find a problem with something.
Because it's like not conclusive, so it's like bait type of thing.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
where people think they're like, oh, well, they're just doing it for the clicks, or they're doing it
Yeah.
because, oh, look at us doing what we're doing. Like that's, but I don't interpret it that way. But I
Me
think some
neither.
people, I've seen people interpret it that way. I guess I should say. But yeah, so I'm excited for the show, at least at a very base level, where it's like it's good to have this back, and obviously, again, it's good to have Kyoto Animation back. For those living under a rock and don't know what Kyoto Animation has done in the past, they've done A Silent Voice, they've done Violet Evergarden, Clannad, Chunibyo, Hyoka. God, how many goddamn shows have they
A
done? Too
lot.
many.
Yeah.
Nichijou. They've done so many. So this is more like a Nichijou kind of show, I'd say, than it is a Violet Evergarden or a Silent Voice.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think
There's very
sure.
little drama in this show, and
And
the usually the drama they make fun of it.
right, it's meant for laughs. It's
Yeah.
not meant for tear jerking. Although I do remember being a little having my heart moved at one point in the show, but then of course 2 minutes later, big titty Quetzalcoatl is walking into our screen and just putting her tits on top of a fucking Shota's head and. God, why is this show pop? No, I know why the show's popular,
You
but
gave it
man,
an
what
8. I gave
I
it a
know,
9. I love this show.
I enjoyed it.
I
It's
really
just
just don't like
again
one aspect of it. Yeah.
in hindsight, I shouldn't
But
like
yeah.
it
Well,
because of that.
like the Kana and Rico stuff is literally like if you probably combine all of it, it's maybe like a episode of like screen time.
Right,
It's not
that's
like
fair.
super major. I'm a huge fan of like the family dynamic between Toru Kana and Kobayashi. I love that
Right,
stuff.
that part is good.
I'll eat that shit
That's
for
the
breakfast all
wholesome
day.
stuff.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
the little snippet where like Kana can't find somewhere to sleep, and then she ends up just like sleeping on like Toru's thighs. Like I don't know, that's like so wholesome and
Yeah.
funny. Just like I love that aspect of it. Even like the really good comedy scenes, like the dodgeball episode, I thought was really fun because they just have like the ability to turn back time, so they just blow up a park and then turn back time, so it's fine. But I like those aspects of it, and I think 90% of the show is like that type of funny aspects of it. So I'm a fan. It'll be interesting to see what they do for the second season. I'm really looking forward to it. To me, this is just me. I will watch it as soon as it drops. I think I've seen Kobayashi 3 times. I'm a big fan. It's one of my favorite like slice of life comedies. It's really just when you need that like stress reducer. Like there's no drama coming from this. Like the biggest problem
No.
is like she had to go home for a
The
little
biggest
bit.
problem is that she's got huge fucking tits, and
Yeah,
there's nothing. She doesn't know where to put them.
she needs a
Like,
back brace. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
The biggest problem is how much of her chiropractor bill is going to be after she visits like 2 times a week. So, yeah, that's my initial thoughts on Kobayashi. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a big time player. I can see it like it's not gonna win like anime of the year or anything like that, but it's just gonna be like a really fun show that I'm looking forward to. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a good place to put our stamp down And I will agree that this will be a like not again not must watch, but it's definitely something that I will be watching pretty much weekly.
Should we
Like
talk about a
there's
show
no doubt.
that is a must watch for you though?
Yes, the one that I said double yes to,
Yes,
the only show that I said double yes to. Let's go straight
and
into this
that
show.
is My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to Doom.
Hmm.
Season 2. Pat, I'm gonna let you talk about it since you have a higher bar than I do because
Really?
I gave season 1 a 7, and
Oh, I did too, I think.
I am looking forward to this. Don't get me wrong. I just have some. Well, I'll talk about it, but I'll let you talk about your must watch show.
Yeah, so basically, season 1, I also gave a 7. I just double checked. I think I had it at like an 8 or a 9 though when I was watching, and then it did the classic. Again, I guess it's a spoiler, but it's not because there's a second season. It did the
Yeah,
classic harem thing where, oh surprise, we're not ending the show. That big villain you thought was the final villain, nope, that's not it. They're part of the harem too. Come back for next season. And I was really mad at the show initially when it did that, so I dropped it to a 7. I was pissed. I was like, God damn it! The show had everything going for it to finish strong and be a really, really solid harem show. And then I sat there for like 6 months, and I was like, damn, I really missed it. I really missed this show. I missed this show. And then season 2 got announced, and I was like, oh hell yeah! I was more excited than I thought I would be for this show. So I have given it forgiveness. I'm giving it a second chance. I am hoping that it will finish or be conclusive at the end of this season. I know it won't be because
yep,
it's a harem show,
yep.
but
Nope, I would
so
not
I'm
expect that.
no, but I would like it to be. And you know what? It is again. This show has um, exceeded my expectations in the past, so I'm excited to hopefully have it do so again, where it actually will have an ending. And the music in this show is amazing. The OP was
OP was
probably my
so good.
it was like top 2 or 3 OPs last year, in my opinion. I don't know how it didn't get
It
nominated
was
for
in
like
my
some of
top
the major
6. Yeah, it
awards.
was
It was in
nominated in the
yours.
R awards. Yep.
In yours, it was, but in like Crunchyroll, it wasn't, which was weird because it was a Crunchyroll show too. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't. But
Well, you know what that means? It just means that my award show is actually better than the
it's more
Crunchyroll
accurate.
awards.
I agree. I think I agreed with more of our winners. That's for damn sure. But I wonder why. It's almost like I voted in those or something.
Who knows? I
Crazy.
guess we'll
Who
never
knows?
know.
We'll never know. We'll never know. Um, but to get back to Atome, this show is again like the music in general is really good. The character design is top tier, like top notch character
Really
design
good
in the show.
character design.
Like Katarina Kleiss, the main girl, is like not only is she gorgeous, but she's always catching your eye on the screen. Their outfits are so well done. They all have their unique parts or aspects of them, like and their little niche references. Like I am like 99% sure that Mary Hunt is supposed to look like Princess Daisy, and what's
Oh
her name,
yeah, she
Maria
absolutely looks like
Campbell is
Daisy.
supposed to be like Peach. You know, like I swear to God, there are little references and little like niche things that anyone can enjoy if they see them while watching the show. Um, I don't know. Again, all of the characters in this show that were introduced were fun and interesting. Even like the villain at the end, it got a little weird with the demonic stuff, but like I don't know, I let it go, or
Yeah.
maybe it was like dark magic. I don't know, same shit, whatever. It got a little weird, but then it was like, oh, surprise! This is still a really fun show. It's not that serious. This person is now part of the harem too. Gotcha. And like I don't know. Again, I thought I would hate that when it first happened, but I didn't. I really liked it. I was laughing about it. So I don't know. Again, I guess this speaks about how weak the season is, that this is pretty much the only show that I am like must watch every week. Again, I'm hoping the OP. I don't know if it's been released yet or not in the PV or not. I don't think it has.
I don't think it
Hoping
has.
I'm hoping the OP is as much of a banger as the first one was, because that one was just it covered it covered classic rock, classical, poppy stuff, like jazzy stuff. It was all like just this mishmash of stuff that turned into such a catchy thing that like I just could not stop listening to all last season, or the season that it was airing, I guess I should say.
Mm.
But yeah, I've been talking too much. What have you
No,
got?
you're good. Yeah, it's all good. I definitely wanted you to talk for this one. To me, I am kind of in the same boat where I'm glad we're getting more because the first season kind of felt underwhelming, but that could be fixed with more content, and we are getting that. So if we get the content that I'm hoping for, I can see this being like a higher score than just a 7. I'm a huge fan that this is not only a reverse harem, but like a reverse harem in terms of both like sexes are competing. It's not
Oh yeah.
just female male. It's male and female are competing for Katarina, and I think that's a really fun dynamic that we. The only thing that is even like remotely close to this is a show called Kiss Him Not Me, which was hot garbage.
Oh God, that show was so bad.
So bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
So it's really like a type of story that we haven't really like delved into in anime. So I'm a giant fan of like the stories that we haven't seen yet, and this is definitely one. I cannot talk about how great the characters are. It's not even just the designs, but just like the dynamic between all of them are so much fun. I love like the shy like Sophia coming out of her shell more as the season went on, and then we had like Mary, who is like this outgoing character, and I thought she just like fit well with like the entire dynamic. And then the male cast as well, you still have like that stereotypical like blonde hair, good looking royal like noble classman characters, but then you had some like other cool like other the characters, the shy bad boy, some of the other things. I mean, they're like kind of the tropes, but like that's kind of the point, because
the point is they're making fun of them.
They're stuck in an Otome dating sim, so like that's kind of the point of the characters. So I really like that whole dynamic of playing through like the dating sim. So.
Oh, by the way, it's an isekai. By the way, it's an isekai. That's right. I forgot to mention that. Like, yeah, it's an isekai where it actually does hint back to that. Oh, maybe she isn't just the only one in the game too. Like, maybe her friend got pulled in as or into the story. I guess I don't know. I remember
cool
that
twist.
That's what it was hinted at the end of the season. So that's pretty cool. Again, done by Silverlink as well, who did Bofuri, and so they had a really good, strong year last year. They've done a lot of other random bad stuff, like stuff that I don't feel like mentioning, but they've done like Bofuri, Kokoro Connect.
Boo, Kokoro Connect. Boo.
Yeah, I don't know. Devil School something. What's his name? Devil Academy. No, God, what am I?
Welcome to Demon School, Yermakun.
No, there's so many of these shows that I mix up their names because I don't watch any of them, as we will find out later on when we talk more. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. I know you're not a fan of that show, right?
No, Misfit was great.
Wait. Oh, you liked that? See, I thought
the second half was hot garbage, but the first half was fantastic.
Because I know Haz loves this show, and then I feel
it's getting a second season.
Yes, and they're doing that as well. So yeah, again, they've
missed
got a ton of
Biori. Like, come on, man. Like,
well, I didn't choose to mention that. I don't care about Non
Biori is goated. Okay, that's enough about other things that they did. But yeah, really looking forward to this. Kind of funny that they don't mention that this is an isekai on the genres, because it clearly is.
Yeah.
I guess if Jumanji is an isekai, this is an isekai. So, big fan. If you haven't checked out season 1, I highly recommend it, just because I think with season 2, we're going to get more of the answers and more of the content that we're looking for in these style of shows. And usually harems don't. I mean, harems do get second seasons, but my biggest problem is a lot of times the second seasons lead off also to nowhere and go by the manga. And usually the endings of the mangas are like really bad. So yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they end this. I think it's a light novel and it's still going.
Nisekoi. I love that show. God damn it. Yeah, when he said second seasons that lead to nowhere, I was just like, Nisekoi.
So I'm hoping that's not that, but we'll see. I'll be checking it out for sure. So that's...
I will as well. Believe it or not. Again, only one I'm watching, like the minute it drops, I will be watching this show. And that's pretty much the only one so far, at least.
For sure. Next up is a show I'm only watching. I'll make this quick. It's the second part of the season 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. If you don't know my thoughts on Slime, I thought season 1 was actually pretty boring. I like the world building, but I thought for the most part it was pretty boring. Season 2 was just like, they took everything I hate about it and made it better. Season 2 was fantastic. Spoiler alert here. The fact that now Rimuru is a demon lord and is just like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. So what happened is, do you care if I spoil?
No, I don't. I'm never gonna watch this.
Spoilers.
But I just think that's funny.
Heavy spoilers here. Shinon died, and
What?
Yeah, the big titty purple hair girl. She died. She got murdered in a raid while Rimuru was gone. It was like a sabotage thing. And so, in order for Rimuru to resurrect not only Shinon but like the entire clan, he had to be a demon lord and cast a spell. The spell only had like a 3% chance of working, but because it's anime, of course the spell worked. Everybody gets resurrected. But in order for Rimuru to be a devil or a demon lord, he had to kill like 5,000 people. And so he finds the army that attacked the city. He just massacres all of them because he's like insanely overpowered. And that's like the sacrifice to be this demon lord. So it's just like it turned up the violence from like a 3 to a 9, which is what I thought was missing in season 1, and made season 2 like fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to part 2 of this, because I think they're going to keep going down this route where like Rimuru is like not to be fucked with. Like their whole, because the whole thing is just like they're monsters, and so like the humans are like we need to kill them. They're taking over our resources, and it's like a discrimination thing. I really like that political aspect of it. And then Rimuru's like, nah, homie, like catch this gun, and then he just goes blap 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 and gets them all. It's real fun. Rimuru is fantastic. So
Shion the Immortal died. I wonder if we could do a study on anyone that's titled like the Immortal.
well, is she
like,
the immortal
anime.
now because she got resurrected? Because was she that title before?
That's what the Mal said. I don't know. It didn't
Okay.
say anything about her dying though on the Mal either. Her character thing. So I was just like, oh, that's. I don't know. I thought like, wonder how many characters are named the Immortal whatever.
Yeah.
Like how many of them are actually. How often do they actually end up being immortal versus how often do they die in anime? There's got to be a way that you can look at that and be like, oh yeah, no, statistically, like 80% of them are dead by the end of the show.
Yep, for sure.
But either way, sorry. I guess I'll talk about
Nah, you're good.
now. All right, this show's popular. I took a photo once holding Rimuru at Anime Boston in 2018 because Crunchyroll was doing like some promotion thing, and I got a sticker for it. So I said, "Fuck it," and did it.
Nice.
Held Rimuru. I bet I could find the photo if I wanted to, but I don't. And yeah, that was that's all I care about this show. I don't know. It's just another isekai that's like.
I think it's really I think it kind of re-zeroed it for me, where season 1 was like good, and then season 2 like turned it up a notch. They did the same thing for me. It's just like, this is like, I needed conflict, like, and I got it. And
yes, I can't sit through a full season with no conflict. I guess I don't know. It sounded extremely boring to me when I was.
I don't blame you. I thought season 1 was super boring.
Yeah.
Done
by 8-bit. Season 1 was so boring. Apparently, again, people just told me, they were like, "Oh, I like the show, but it's pretty boring." I'm like,
well, okay. It's just like I love world building, and like the world building in Slime is fantastic. But like that wasn't enough for to like satisfy me to like recommend it or anything like that. To me, I just like kept it inside. Like, yeah, it was like a 6 or 7. Like season 1 was fine. Like it was whatever. It wasn't bad. Like it was just boring. Like that just happens sometimes. And then they continued the story, and it got really good. So I'm glad I stuck with it. It's kind of like Black Clover. Like Black Clover was hot garbage when it started. And I stuck with it, and it turned out to be like this incredible show. But like on paper, it looks stereotypical, like whatever shonen. It absolutely does, and I don't
believe you guys. I still don't believe you.
I don't blame anybody for like that starting Black Clover or dropping it. Like if you drop Black Clover, I absolutely get it. But it has like the best magic system in anime I've ever seen. It's incredible. I love Black Clover, but yeah, we're not talking Black Clover. We're talking Slime, and we're not actually going to talk about Slime anymore because I think we got our voices through.
Yeah, just that it's done by 8-bit. So if you are unfamiliar with them, they've done, again, Slime's probably their biggest show, Infinite Stratos. Oh, Fruitsa Grisai. Now that's
that's a spicy meatball.
Yes, it is. The Irregular Magic High School Visitor arc. So I guess not the first season, but the second season.
Yep.
Was that a soundboard?
No, that was me just literally making a fart noise.
Oh, man. Good for you. Good for you for making that.
Yeah, I get freelance work for my fart sound effects.
Yeah.
Catch me on Fiverr if you need any fart sound effects. Look up.
Wow, we are so far out right now. This is terrible content. But let's move on to our first isekai that's not a sequel.
True.
Pete, what do you want to say about it?
So it's how a realist hero built a kingdom. I was just looking at the synopsis and started cracking up because the guy's name
Yep.
is Kazuya-sama. So they got the main character of Rent a Girlfriend, and the last name from the guy from Food Wars is unexpectedly transported into another world where he knows the people expect a hero, but Soma's idea of heroism is more practical than most. He wants to rebuild the flagging economy of the new land he found himself in. Betrothed to the princess and abruptly planted onto the throne, the realist hero must gather talented people to help him get the country back on his feet, not through war or adventure, but through administrative reform. So that aspect, that part, administrative reform, sold me. Big fan of, like, really stupid. I should say stupid because, like, it's realist, but, like, I'm gonna say it's a stupid way of solving things in terms of isekai anime. If that makes any sense, I might just be talking out my ass. Yeah, this seems quirky and kind of silly and dumb, even though it doesn't have comedy as a genre. I kind of wish it did.
I kind of did too.
Its genres are action, military, harem, magic, romance, and fantasy. I feel like if you do like this, like administrative reform style, I feel like it needs to be a comedy, or it turns into like an isekai harem of Spice and Wolf. I don't know. Like, I don't know where it's going with it. I'm intrigued just based off of what I read, but I really do feel like this show is like, I think it's either going to be a 2 or an 8. Like, I don't think there's going to be any in between. At least from what I see, the characters look fine, I guess. There's a cat girl. Gotta love cat girls, right? The princess looks yelly and blonde. You know, I don't know. She looks like a normal person. Main character looks like an isekai hero protagonist.
Yes.
Very bland. I'm going to guess he is very boring. And the girls, I'm just going to assume he's bland. He's dense. The girls are going to fall in love with him because he does one thing for them, because no one's ever been nice to these girls in their entire life. So when a guy does something nice, once they fall in love with him, I'm guessing
that's scarf. He gave me a scarf.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, hey, your shoes untied. Oh my god, no one's ever said that to me before. And that's where I feel like it's going. Pat, your thoughts on how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom?
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones. The other ones that we talked about, I knew going into the season that I would be either interested or not. In the case of Slime, this one was the first one where it was like I was just scrolling through the Mal list, and it caught my eye. Like Pete said, the main girl, cute. You know, like she's got that look to her that's not like a distinct look from other anime people, but she's like, I don't know, yeah, like you said, yelling blonde, whatever, or the very stereotypical look.
Yeah.
That can, you know, that caught my eye. I was like, oh, she's cute. Like, whatever. What happens here? The character list is all female except for our main guy and I think one or two other guys, but they all look like evil
One looks
characters.
like an elf, and the other guy looks mean.
Yes. So So yeah, and I accidentally clicked on one of the characters' bios, and it said something about 6 wives. So it seems like it's more than just.
All right.
Yeah, so
Jobless reincarnation. All right.
Yeah, so it's basically, yeah. Oh, by the way, you're marrying my daughter, the king says, and then, oh, by the way, you're marrying this girl now too. Apparently, that's what it sounds like it's going to be going on. Interesting either way. Not interesting to me, but what I don't know. Again, so I saw this though. I read the synopsis, and I said to myself, oh. It's an isekai, but he does the world building is that he does like economy stuff rather than like just killing everything or defeating the demon lord. Pete's gonna love this because it's like Log Horizon, but
I wish.
like or well,
I wish.
So we'll see if it ends up being like Log Horizon. Then there you go. It's gonna be. But that was my first thought. I was like, oh, Pete's definitely gonna want to watch this. As for me, in my notes I was like. What I say, kind of, but prob not. Yeah, that's what I said, and
you know,
so probably not. I'll watch a few clips and
I can see
if I laugh at
you know,
it.
I can see you doing. It's Saturday night. You just came home from the bars. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You ping me on Discord and be like, "Hey, I'm checking out Realist Hero," and then you'll be like, "This show fucking sucks." Like 10 minutes later or something like that.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you that.
That's how I picture it. I guess in terms of promising news, the light novel has a 7.8, which is pretty good. so that's promising. Um, I
And
guess
another promising aspect too might be that it's done well. The studio's not that well known, but JC
JC
staff,
staff's pretty good. Yeah.
just casually have done, like Toradora, Food Wars, which is funny because, like you said, the character's name, One Punch Man. That was second season. Excuse me. Never mind. Ignore me.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
I
Yeah.
won't say about that. But I don't know. Again, the fact that, like you said, though, I didn't even notice this when I was first looking at it because I thought it was so obviously a comedy that it wasn't.
I know, right?
Like the reading it, I was like, oh, this must be a comedy, and I didn't even look at. But yeah, no, it's got action, military, harem, magic, romance, fantasy, and I'm just like, okay, well,
Yeah.
hopefully it's actually funny because if it isn't, it is going to be incelly, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little because it's not gonna be like full on incel where it's like Redo of a Healer, where it's like a guy who's just like so invested in himself that he's unable to see the world clearly. But it's like, I don't know, man. How much can you really, as just some random dude, come into a world and change the economy or the way your kingdom's economy runs so drastically without coming off as like, oh, I'm a superior. I know things superiorly because I'm so much more intelligent than you are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like how does that happen in a world where it's entertaining as well? It's because this is anime. It has to be entertaining and not realistic. So, I don't know. Very very unlikely that I will watch the first episode as it airs, but if I hear good things, maybe I will tune in. But that maybes for me usually end up being no's.
Yeah.
So,
And I hate to say it, but the main character and the main girl kind of look like Kirito and Asuna. Like, especially the girl looks a lot
bit.
like Asuna.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wonder what this demographic is targeting. Because it just kind of looks like it's like
A bit of a tomboy who went to officer school and graduated, becoming an officer rank in the
a
military.
tomboy, and she's just like super hot. Like, yeah, she's such a
Tomboy,
tomboy.
tomboy with long hair
Yeah.
and a gorgeous appearance.
Yeah,
Okay.
so what a tomboy.
Oh, and she's also the king's daughter. She's a
Oh,
princess, by
yeah.
the way. Like, okay, yeah, tomboy.
I'm just gonna say I will watch this because I need some trash in my life. You need bad in your life to know what is good. It's the yin yang. And this is going to be the bad part of the season for me that I need in order to get the good that I want. It's
There's
all
enough bad.
life's all about balance, baby. Life's all about balance.
There's enough bad Smite players in the world to give me enough bad.
I feel ya.
So don't worry. I will not. So that's why I will not be watching this though.
Fair enough.
So there we go.
I really do hope though, when you come home drunk one night, I hope you remember this conversation and just for me, at least give it 10 minutes.
I will.
Okay,
I will give it 10
you.
minutes
Let's
to
go.
see how often it titulates my attention and how often I'm like, oh wow, that's hot.
Yeah,
or
this is
oh
true.
wow,
Yeah.
that's fun. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You know what? If it had a witch in it, maybe that would actually get
I'll
my
let you
attention.
know if it has a witch.
And then maybe we'll talk. But
Yep.
the cat girl is also a lolly, so I don't think it's too bad. It's just those two strikes right there. Rats, I know.
Rats. Well, let's move on to something that I think
cats.
I
There we go.
think the show honestly might be good.
Me too.
The title sounds weird, but there's one specific reason I'm gonna say it. It sounds super dumb, but I think this is good. I'm gonna save it though. We're gonna talk about it's called "The Detective Is Already Dead." La Detective es Murata Tanmoshi.
Está muerta.
Está muerta.
Muerta.
Yeah. You know the vibes.
See.
Kimikiko is a crisis magnet from getting caught up into the crime scene to additionally witnessing a drug deal. Trouble seems to find him around every corner. So it is no surprise when his rather mundane fight suddenly states an emergency with a dire need of a detective on board. Unfortunately, his attempt at avoiding trouble is foiled by a beautiful girl with silver hair who goes by the codename Siesta. Declaring herself a detective, she unceremoniously drags Kimitsuka into the case as her assistant. I'm not gonna read the rest. The thing that I like is that the character is called Siesta. It sounds stupid, but I really like that the girl's name is Siesta. The genre
That's why?
Yes.
Oh my god.
How many times do we see
Simp.
yeah, absolutely.
Simp.
How many times do we see like Spanish influenced in anime? Because it's like never. And the fact that it even has like La Detective in like its title is kind of cool. And Siesta. Genres: mystery, comedy, drama, and romance. I think this has the chance of being good. I watched the PV. The animation is really good. The genres to me are I like those genres. I love like mystery, comedy, drama, romance. Those four, I like all four of those. Like to like the highest level. Those are like things I look for in my anime. This girl is going to be waifued the shit out of. I can already tell. She's going to be the seasonal waifu. I'm calling it now. Um, yeah, it just
Probably.
it looks pretty good. Pat, your thoughts on La Detective Esmeralda or whatever I said before?
La
I have
Detective.
had 2.5 beers tonight, so I'm just gonna throw that
Good
out
for
there.
you. La Detective está because it's got the little chick over the a.
Yep.
Muerta. That means the detective is dead, uh, or is already dead because of the chick over the a. Just so you know, if you couldn't tell from the rest of the title, I just wanted to let you know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just to clarify, I did take Spanish for so many years in college that might as well know something.
Mhm.
But yeah, so my notes in this. I was like kind of intrigued but skeptical is what I put down. And the reason why I said skeptical, outside of the synopsis mentioning how that incident, so Pete didn't read the rest of it, which I thought was the most interesting part of the synopsis,
All right,
which is
you read the
basically,
rest of it.
I won't read the rest of it, but I'll say basically they go down, the two of them become partners in crime or adventure or whatever you want to say. They adventure together and then
PSCs.
yes, they die 3 years later. They lead to their Siesta's untimely death 3 years later. Then he goes back and resolves to living an ordinary high school life. So of course, 3 years later, so he's the fucking 17-year-old, but he's going back to high school. He spends a year maintaining a low profile before, as fate would have it, a girl with an uncanny resemblance to Siesta comes crashing into his life, threatening to throw his peaceful days into disarray. So that's where the mystery and the stuff
Ah.
comes in. So that's why I was like, why'd you stop? Like that's like what else is going on in
I'm
this
gonna
show?
blame
Like
it
no,
on the alcohol.
that's fair enough. God, you're dating yourself with that song too. Oh God,
Hey,
or
blame it on the
reference.
juice, baby.
Yep. Um, but either way, this show, yeah, so it intrigued me, but I'm also very skeptical because for one, the studio that did it is NG, and all they've done is Uzaki-chan,
Great
uh,
show.
Kemono Muichi,
Terrible show.
okay, and then the one that broke me,
The full dive RPG.
Full Dive, the ultimate next gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life.
Hot
Uh,
garbage.
what a
Hot garbage show.
what a funny name, but yeah, the rating is
So
terrible.
they're batting 1 for 3 right now.
And even that 1 for 3, Uzaki-chan's a 7.02, like, and I didn't care about it either. I was just like,
Loved it. Can't wait for
I
season
don't know.
2.
It only got popular because people hated on it, and yeah, I
They're
don't know.
fools.
Well, either way, so that's a little sketch. The art style does look a little sketch as well. I don't know, just from the teaser PV, I
The
was
PV
like,
was good. The PV was good.
I thought her face looked weird and like too anime almost. If you catch right, yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
That was just me.
sure.
Where it's just like I don't know. But I do agree with you that she will be a waifu like that people love, no matter how whether she's Violet quiet or whether she's Asuna levels of like tsundere.
I just
No
assume
matter
she's a
what her
kudere.
personality is, yeah. Well,
If
like
you have white hair, you're a kudere, like by default.
right, well, that's my point. Like, it's like no matter what she is, though, people are gonna make her a waifu,
Oh,
partly because of that white
absolutely.
hair. And yeah, Siesta is a fun name. That is clever or different. So that's cool. But again, I don't know. I'm just so skeptical because I have never heard anyone mention this light novel before. I've never
Same.
heard anyone talk about this show before. Never heard about it coming into this season. There was no big like announcement that got people talking about it on Twitter. And yeah, I don't know. It's not time travel, but it is mystery, kind of like, oh, supernatural. Why is she alive? Like, oh,
Mhm.
I'll again. It's going to be in the same boat with like granted, this is going to sound like a compliment. It's going to be in the same boat that like 86 and Vivi are for me, where it's like, okay, I'm vaguely intrigued, but I need to wait until at least 5 or 6 episodes have come and people are like really talking highly about it before I really give it a shot. Because I don't know, it's again just doesn't do nothing
All
for
right,
me. The rest of the
that's fine.
rest of the character designs too. Just looking at like, which of course those are mainly coming from light novel pictures. So who knows if they're what they're going to look like in the anime. But even just from the cover, it just seems bland. I don't know. To me, it seems bland. But
I think the character design is like whatever, but yeah. I mean,
mhm.
we'll wait and see. I'll be checking it out. I think this has like the chance of being good. I'm not saying it is. I just think it does.
I can agree with that. I think it's like a 20%er.
Yeah.
Where it's just like what it it can reel me in quick, but
Yep.
it would take a lot though. I think.
Well, let's talk about a show that is probably going to get panned by most people. It looks trash, and I will watch every
Yep.
single episode of it.
Yep.
And that is called Kanajo Mo Kanajo, or what's it called? Girlfriend, I believe is the like the English title.
Or another girlfriend. Normally, Mo means like enough or more. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding like a complete fucking idiot American, but I believe that's my interpretation of it. Because like,
Oh, you
especially
silly American.
with the synopsis after reading that, I was like, oh, so it's like multiple girlfriends. That is the idea. Something. But yeah. Do you want to take this one?
Yep, so here we go. After harboring an unrequited love for years, Naoi finally gets to date his childhood friend Saki. However, just as he tries to commit himself to this relationship, he receives an abrupt confession from Nagisa Minase. At first, Naoya tries to reject her, but is soon overcome by feelings of not wanting to hurt her. Trying to avoid betraying his girlfriend's trust in him, Naoya thinks of this solution to make both girls happy, two-timing. Naturally, Saki rebuffs this idea, but through Naoya and Nagisa's persistence, she reluctantly submits. With this, a three-way affair between Naoya, his girlfriend, and his other girlfriend as they develop a relationship that derives from the social norm.
Deviates. It derives would be the exact opposite.
Yeah, deviates. Sorry.
No, that's an antonym.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Reading that synopsis made my IQ drop a little bit.
Yeah, mine too.
I know Eggy in the Discord, props to Eggy, has read this, and she thinks, I'm pretty sure she said it was like hot garbage. And based off its Mal score, it has a 6.91 nice, which is pretty bad. Even for that style of like harem. I guess the genres are. That's funny. That's not labeled as a harem, even though there are 4 girls on the poster.
Yeah.
Genre: slice of life, comedy, romance, school, shonen. The positives is that we actually get to see a relationship, I guess, but it's between, I don't know. It's just like a really bad way of having a relationship. I feel like they added spice to something that's already super spicy. I don't know. It just looks, honestly, it looks like hot garbage.
Yeah.
And I'll watch every episode. Pat, your thoughts on Girlfriend?
First off, any of our visual viewers who just saw me Obama a fly, that was pretty sick of me, I gotta say. Second off, yeah, it just snatched right out of the air. I'm pretty proud of myself. Thank you, Pat. Let me give myself a pat on the back.
Let's go, Pat.
Double pun right there. God, people must hate me.
Yeah, they do.
I know. The only thing that really caught my eye, thank you. My dad loves me. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. By the way, to all the dads out there listening.
And daddies.
And daddies, especially the daddies.
And especially the daddies.
Especially wink, nudge, nudge. So again, the only thing that really caught my eye out of this synopsis, other than it being like, oh my god, what the fuck is this show, was that Takahashi Rie, who I'm pretty sure is Megumin and Amelia's voice actress. I'm pretty sure she's one of the girls, but she's not one of the main girls. She's one of the, well, she's main in terms of main character, but like she's not the 2 girlfriends. So what's gonna happen is he gonna get, and again with the title being, I assume, girlfriend more girlfriends or something, translated, does that mean he's gonna get a third?
He's gonna have 4. I'm guessing he's gonna have 4.
Have a 4th, and then it's gonna be, yeah, like I don't know. like fuck's sake, why is she Saki? Like, why is her name the same as her last name? Like, I don't know, man.
First name,
What
last name.
what is this show going to be? Not good is probably the answer. But again, like Pete said, I'm probably gonna actually watch the first episode because I'm so intrigued by how, like, what did I put down? I said in a trashy way, maybe. So like what Pete,
That's a
um,
great way to put it.
yeah, where it's like, okay, so maybe, but not in like an Orisuke trashy way, maybe
Yeah.
more like um this hurts because I love the manga, but domestic girlfriend trashy kind of, but like but like trashy, but yes, like I will watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this. And coming from Tezuka Productions, who's done a lot of shows actually, I didn't realize how big the studio was. Their biggest shows though are Dororo, Quince. They did that Adachi to Shimura,
So
whatever.
this looks like it's a it might be like a side studio of Mappa.
Maybe Dakashi Kashi season 2 they
Because you know how
did.
like TMS Entertainment has like I forgot what something else. Like whoever did Doctor Stone is like a it's actually like a side production of something like that. I wonder if that's like I think
Yeah,
this might be like a Mappa studio.
it does look a lot like that, but yeah, either way though, they haven't done a ton of really successful things. Oh, they
Oh,
also did,
kids on the slope, homie.
in my eyes, they're not a ton of stuff. I don't
Kids on
know.
the slope is a masterpiece.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of popularity at least
Sure,
maybe because How Not to Summon Lord season 2, if
hot
that's like
garbage.
your fourth show on your popularity list, then
Yeah,
you're probably not doing that well.
for sure.
And I don't know. I have no expectations of this being any
Yeah.
good. Even
Uh,
the character design just feels like, doesn't it just like the art style even just screams Rent
I
a Girlfriend, doesn't
I
it? Like the
like
cover art looks
yeah.
exactly like it. It looks like
Funny you say that. Ri Takahashi does the voice of Sumi from Rent a Girlfriend.
she does. Yes, that's right.
Um, I I really like the character design for that Shino girl, the white hair girl. I like her design a lot. I like how she looks. Everyone, the blonde hair girl, the blonde haired pigtail girl looks like the same blonde hair pigtail girl in every anime ever made.
It's all.
Yeah,
I know that's it. She's not even doing it in the promo.
she's
She's like,
even doing the laugh.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
I've seen some manga panels in they it honestly seems like from what I have read, so this is a very small amount. It's like really awkward comedy, which I am not a fan of. Um,
So like making fun of like people in awkward, like showing awkward scenarios and making you like
yeah,
cringe, like that kind of thing.
and stuff just like I don't know. Like like you see them like outside of school, and they're like in their street clothes or whatever, and it's like, oh my god, she's so pretty and all this stuff like that, and it's like really awkward between the two, and I think that's supposed to
Okay.
be portrayed as funny, and it's not, and it's a big turnoff for me. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
this has like 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 written all over it.
Oh yeah.
I could already tell you that it's going to have a go by the manga ending. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that that's what's going to
Mm.
be. I think they're just trying to like. I feel like with like the success of like Rent a Girlfriend, like how massive the success of Rent a Girlfriend was, that we're going to see more shows like this.
Yeah, probably.
So it wouldn't be surprising if this show does awful and it sells 5 million manga copies. Like, it wouldn't surprise me the least bit because Rent a Girlfriend sells like I don't even know what it's at, like 10 million right now. Just like
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. You have good waifus, you're gonna sell
yeah.
everything.
So there looks like there's one good waifu in this show. Other than that, I don't know. Not really gonna be diving too deep into girlfriend, more girlfriend, or whatever it's called. So
Nope, no, thank you.
yeah, but
We're
I'll
good.
watch all of it. That being said, I will watch
I
every
probably
episode.
won't. I probably won't. We'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see what happens.
Well, let's move on to a show that I'm actually insanely excited for because it reminds me of one of my favorite like slice of lives in the show where my legit anime waifu is from Real Life,
I
and
said the same thing. There we
this
go.
is called
Yep.
Remake Our Life. Kyoya is a 28-year-old game developer. With his company going bankrupt and him losing his job, he returns to his hometown. Looking at the success of creators of his age, He finds himself regretting his life's decisions as he lay distressed on his bed. As Kyoya wakes up, he discovers that he has traveled back 10 years, back to the time before he entered college. Will he finally make things right? This story is about a failed person who is given a second opportunity to follow his dreams, which kind of sucks. I don't even know why it says he failed, because he's 28 and he has his own company, and I think like going bankrupt in a company is not like a failure necessarily. A lot of people fail in life, and especially with like companies, and they just do the next thing. So I don't like that it says that he's a failure, because if you start your own game developing company at 28, you're probably like really smart and could probably be on your feet. So I don't like that aspect of it, but I do like the whole aspect of like, what if you had the second chance of changing things? Like, what would you do? Because I know in my life, I definitely would love to like maybe do something else if I was like a senior in high school or freshman in college again. So I'm really drawn towards like that real life style of storytelling, and it looks like it's going to like hit on some of the things. Like it's labeled as a comedy. It wouldn't surprise me if this has like pretty heavy drama as well, because I'm going to guess it's going to do like a real life thing where he's not the only person who went back 10 years type of thing. That's just my guess. I have no idea if that's the case. Real life came out like 2013, like whatever.
Hey man, yeah, that's fair. Great show.
Yeah, great show. Pat, your thoughts?
Yeah, so my notes for this was labeled comedy, so maybe, and the reason why I labeled it that way is because, like you said, it's only labeled as a comedy, which to me it's like, how does the show work without drama or without whatever? Because this sounds like just real life. Like, that's what I said. I was laying in bed drunk last night prepping for this. I was just like, how is this different from real life? So that's why I said maybe, because it's like, I don't know. I don't want to watch worse real life. I don't care. I have no interest in it, because I already have watched a good real life, a really, really good real life, one of the best shows I've ever seen, like, or that I've in terms of enjoyment at least, and like feeling rewarded for watching a show. I think that show's up there, like top 10 probably for me.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really, really good, and like great message to it too. This one, yeah, like you said, I didn't even really think about that, where it's like, oh yeah, he's 28, so he's a failure, or because I just, it's like, okay, yeah, he failed because his company went under. I didn't realize he was the owner of the company either. So there we go. I thought he was just like an employee getting kicked to the curb by the, losing his job.
Well, it says with his company going bankrupt, so I don't know if that means like his employer, but I feel like that wording is like he owns it.
Yeah, and then him losing his job. I don't know. Either way, though, that's my point. Like, I interpreted it differently, so maybe that's why I had a slightly different opinion than you did. I don't know. Again, the waifus look kind of cute. It's done by Feel, which I love. Feel. Ignore that first or second show on their list, Kiss X Sis, but
the masterpiece that is Kiss Sis,
but you look at seasons 2 and 3 of Origairu, you look at Anime Watch Club Hinamatsuri, you look at that's as far down as I'll go for now. Because
some other stuff that you maybe did.
Some other okay things.
They definitely started at the bottom if you look at their mouth, and then as they get better, like as they make bad shows better, they get actually like good shows. So like we have like Sugakuri is like really good. So like they do have like a good resume.
Yep. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. So again, this just it's got like the Bokuben art style too, like the way the colors work with each other. So I thought that was a nice way, because it caught my eye. Again, I don't know. It didn't sell me enough to where I'm definitely gonna be watching this week to week, but I could at least like see myself maybe getting to it. But again, I don't know. Like if it's just gonna be comedy, then it's like, well, it's real life but not dramatic. I don't care. Like
from what I saw, like on the I was looking at the light novel covers. I feel like there's like there's definitely like a Origairu love triangle romance thing going on too.
I don't know if my heart can handle that.
You'll have to bear it, Pat. You'll have to bear it. But that's just what I have no idea if that's true. I'm literally just basing this off the light novel covers, so I could be completely wrong, and it's just like a story about them writing manga. I don't know. Like, who knows? There's really not a whole lot of information about it, so we'll see. I'm
Find out.
super interested. Just it's real life esque, so you have my attention. It's he, I mean, I guess he's technically 28, but I mean, yeah, the real life was kind of like the same way, where like they were adults, but in high school, whatever. Big fan. Looking forward to it. I think it should be good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on to a show that I have no idea. I
Take
really
it.
read the synopsis today.
Yeah, yeah. So this show, Pete probably only read it because I brought it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we go. This show actually caught my eye. So again, I wrote this show down
What's the
as
title?
Matt. It's called Aquatope of White Sand, or in Japanese, Shiroi Suna no Aquatope. So in my notes, I wrote down meh, but PA Works so intrigued, and that's because PA Works is my little sleeper studio, my little sneaky sleeper one, where it's like they've got some good shows on their list that they that I think they're slept on a lot. So I mean, there's their big popular shows like Angel Beats and Another, Charlotte, that a lot of people know about. But they've also done other little sneaky shows like Iridoku, The World in Colors came out a few years ago that I really liked. They did this one episode or this movie called Machia When the Promised Flower Blooms.
Yep.
They've done a ton of just gorgeously animated shows that have kind of flew under the radar, in my opinion. They did Shirobako, which was a really fun show
Really
too,
fun. Yep.
really fun. So their studio that whenever I see a show is made by them is similar to the way I do with like Kyoto Animation. Uh, I will at least like give it a shot, or I will give it like my attention. And the characters, they look like they are straight from Iridoku. Like looking at their arts here, you could barely tell the two shows apart. So they definitely kept that beautiful style that they have become reputable with. But yeah, so this show is basically about an 18-year-old high school girl who works in an aquarium meeting a former idol who lost her place in Tokyo, but then like escaped or something. And then they spend their days in the aquarium, like bonding as two people, and basically the crisis that is approaching, or the conflict of the story, is the fact that the aquarium is closing soon, and they have to find a place to go. They have to do something different, which again, so if you just read that description, you like myself, at least last night, might be sitting there and being like, okay, and or what, like who cares, like, what is this, like where is the appeal to this show? And again, for me, the main appeal to me for this show is the fact that it's done by PA Works. So I know for a fact I'm going to be giving at least episode 1 a chance, assuming it's picked up by a streaming platform too. That's something that we're starting to,
Yeah.
I assume it will, but we're getting down that list though too. We really are. We're starting to get near that, like getting to the point in the list where shows might not get picked up. So I don't know, we'll see. But again, I am very curious to see how this show goes. I am not expecting it to be good, but I like, in terms of like, yeah, I'm definitely not expecting it to be, you know, like as popular as successful as, like, again, like Charlotte or Angels Beats or
Yeah.
whatever else. But I definitely think it could be a good little niche fun show. It's slice of life too, which that basically just says that it's an anime.
Yeah.
Like I hate that that's a genre in anime, because it feels like that doesn't, especially if that's your only genre. Like, how do you describe a show as just a slice of
Yeah.
life?
It's
Like,
probably gonna be more than that, and I want to touch on that because I saw some stills. I think this might be a Yuri.
oh,
Yeah. So I think there's gonna be a romance element to it. Based off what I saw, I think it's either Yuri baiting or it's going to be a Yuri. So
good taste.
yeah.
No,
What you say about PA Works, to me, it's a coin flip because they have made really good. They've made a lot of originals that are like pretty good. Shirobako, World in Colors,
that one was so good. I loved that
When
one.
the
Oh my
Flower
god.
Blooms. Those are like really good originals. And then to me, they've also made some like hot garbage ones, like Angel Beats. One of the most disappointing animes I've ever seen in my entire life, Fairy Gone. Last year they did a Party Ranman, which I thought was pretty bad as well. So to me, this is a coin flip in terms of how they handle it, since it's an original and they have a lot of creative freedom. Doesn't say how many episodes it is. That will be interesting to see. I'm assuming it's 12, but
I would assume so as well.
Shirabako's 24. They did that one where they're like underwater. The kids like live underwater. That one was also 24. What was that one called? Nagi. What was this called?
Nagi no Asu.
Alone in the Sea. Yeah, so that was 24 as well. So be interesting to see how many episodes this gets. Things that sell me. There are penguins. Lots of penguins. I am a fan of penguins. So
Yeah.
if we are going to get a bunch of scenes with penguins, I'm going to be watching this show as soon as it drops because I'm a big fan of that. Looks really interesting. I like the dynamic of like at work, like relationships and like the conversations and stuff like that happening. I wish they were a little older. I wish they didn't have to be like the 18-year-old. It'd be really interesting to see like young adults. I'd love to see like them on like a smoke break type of thing in this style of show. I think it would fit really well with it, especially with like kind of the setting that they have set up for it. But that being said, it looks nice. I think the animation is going to be good. And it has penguins, so
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, again, sign me up too. So again, this is like what the third show that I've actually said I'd watch. So there we go. That tells you how deep again or not deep this season seems to be.
Yeah.
At least for me so far.
No, yeah, you're right though.
But yeah. So yeah, moving on. Now we're getting into some shows that that ends my list. Essentially, this was pretty much just my list of shows that I said to Pete that I might watch.
For sure.
Now we're getting into some shows that are not on my list. And again, anyone who knows me will know why this next show is not on my list. Jahy-sama Won't Be Discouraged, or The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated, which is cover art has a lolly-like demon, a Yaru demon, staring you down and looking all angry and pouty. And then the synopsis reads, once respected as the demon realm's second greatest authority, the demon king's aide Jahy ruled her subjects with fear. But when a magical girl attacks and destroys a mystic gem containing massive power, the demon realm is destroyed. So as you can tell, I already have lost interest myself. I am so that was 2 strikes and they were back to back, looking like right down the middle, like they are just gone. But yeah, so although she survives, Jahy has almost lost all of her powers and finds herself stranded in the human world with a childlike appearance. Oh, even better, it's an adult in a child's body. That's another strike.
That's a red flag. Yeah, it's a red flag.
That's a red flag number 3. We're up to 3.
That's one for me though. That's only one.
That's
for
only
me.
Okay. So one for you so far. In order to gather more mystic gems, so that she can maybe permanently restore both her original form and the demon realm, Jahy will have to adjust to her new life and deal with her everyday problems that she has never experienced before. From working to pay for living expenses to arguing with her landlord whenever her rent is late, the great Jahy will not be discouraged. Yeah, so that's that was a 3-striker. It's produced by Square Enix. Wait, what? What?
It's produced by Square Enix, but they're not the studio doing.
No, of course not. But that's very interesting because and then you look at
they're in the
credits.
manga game too. So if you ever see like the Final Fantasy mangas, they're producing those.
That's interesting. Yeah. So again, it's done by Studio Silverlink, which we've talked about a little earlier, being like, God, again, Misfitted Demon King. I don't know what I can't keep track.
Yeah.
I can't do these titles, man. I get this. So demons, they're I don't care. I don't care about demons or demon.
Well, the people do, Pat. Think about the people.
Apparently they do, and that's why I will let the voice of the people and not the fucking people, not my people, but the people, Pete, talk about this show that looks like utter trash to me. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be the self-proclaimed rock of the podcast. I am the people's champion. Can you smell what I am brewing up in my closed office? Because it probably smells really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
You should have said "shut up, bitch" to me, and that
shut up,
even
bitch.
Yeah, that would have been better. But I'll let you run away with your joke. Go ahead, continue.
Pat, tell me what you think about this show.
It
doesn't matter what you think about this show. No, things that I'm looking forward to. I know 2 people that have read this manga and they thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's more along the lines of I have the manga. Sorry, what's it called? The Devil is a Part-Timer. I think it's more along those lines where it's like reverse isekai type of thing where they're just trying to like skate by. I hate the fact that she's a child. Why did you have to do that? Like, it would be perfectly fine if she was an adult. The story does not change in any way.
She
And
pays rent. Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Why is she not an 18, 19,
if
20, fucking
anything,
30-year-old person?
the
Like,
story would be better if she wasn't a child-looking thing. But you know what? I'm so the two people that read it and that like it, I have a small bit of respect for. So I'm going to semi take their word on this. Cool things about it: it's getting 2 cores. So, but it starts in August. It starts a month after the season starts. So I'm going to guess that this is probably going to be 20 episodes, which is kind of, I don't know why they do that, but they are. Genres: comedy, supernatural, shonen. I don't know. It just looks fun and silly, and I like the aspect of her trying to like get a job and pay rent. Like, that's funny to me. I just really don't like that she looks like a kid. But you know what? It's anime, and if I don't know, anime for
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. God damn it. It doesn't have to be. Stop giving the excuse. You are part of the problem. There we go. I said it. I said it.
I just watched a video yesterday on why Jujutsu Kaisen is like the next thing in like why it's like the next big thing in shonen, and they mentioned how there's 0 fan service in Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's like, oh yeah, fan service adds nothing to the show. If anything, it makes it better when there is no fan service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like this. There's just like, is her being a small lolly like going to sell more copies if instead she was an adult? Because I'll be honest, if she was an adult, I would probably buy the manga. I don't want this on my shelf, even if it is just like lighthearted and stuff like that. Yeah,
do though, and that's the problem. Again, so I jokingly called you part of the problem because you aren't part of the problem, but the attitude that this is okay is part of the problem. That's my stance.
To me, it's not like a problem. It's just like it's like a thing where I just wish they did a lot less of, because as long as they're not like putting her in like sexual situations and stuff like that, it's fine. It's just it's just like to me, it's just like a personal preference. I just really wish I didn't have to think about her maybe being in like a sexual situation. Like, I don't like that. I don't want to think about that. And it'd just be so much easier if she was 25. And then if she was in a sexual situation, I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares? That's what happens when you're 25. Sometimes you get in sexual situations. Not when you're 12. So, if you're in sexual situations when you're 12, something's going on. Like, it's not good.
All right, we're going.
We're on a rant. The deep end. But the show looks fun. The characters look fun. It kind of looks silly. I don't know. I'm getting Devil's a part-timer vibes, so I'm going to be checking it out. I hope it's not hot garbage. I don't think it will be. And yeah, I like the fact that it got enough confidence to already be announced that it's getting 2 cores, so I hope it's somewhat good. But we'll see. The manga has a 7.5 on Mal, so for this type of genre, that's kind of low.
I am shocked that it got 2 cores already. That is shocking to me. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It looks okay. I'll try it. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but we'll see. It looks cute.
Not a male character in sight either. Like, there's another red flag. Like, so it's gonna be girls doing cute things.
That's fine. I like girls doing cute things. I just don't want like Yuri baiting a child who looks like she's 12 type of thing. Even if she's not, she looks 12. So
shouldn't watch the show then, because I can guarantee you that's gonna happen. But we'll be fine with it.
Well, then that will be reflected in my score.
That's good. There we go.
And we're gonna wrap it up. All right, let's wrap it up with our last show. A show that I am required by law to watch because it is done by Madhouse, and Madhouse is my absolute favorite studio of all time by a mile. It is called Sonny Boy. Empty classroom and boring days. It is supposed to be a normal summer vacation just like any other. Suddenly, the school begins to drift through another dimension, and 36 boys and girls are left there, awakening to their supernatural abilities. Amidst the whirlpool of questions that come to their mind one after another, survival in a supernatural world begins. So I don't really know if this is going to be like a death game. It kind of has that like setting for a death game. You have like an X number amount of like people in like a setting with like supernatural abilities. It kind of looked like just like the cover looks like gritty. It reminds me of Perfect Blue, where it kind of looks like okay on the outside, and then on the inside it's not pretty or it's not
Yeah.
just average. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. I am super intrigued by what could be for Sonny Boy. They released episode 1 on Funimation for 24 hours.
And streamed in advance on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and I was debating watching it, but I was just like, do I want to watch episode 1 and then have to wait like a month for episode 2? So I decided to not do that. I'd rather just watch week by week. Not it's an original, not confirmed by how many episodes it is, but I mean, it's Madhouse, and usually Madhouse shoots like 85%. Like they usually do like really really well. I'm looking at the director. The director for this did some Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood episodes. He did Aka 13. Let's see what else he did. Did some Naruto stuff. Did some One Punch Man. Oh, he was the director of One Punch Man, the season 1. Space Dandy. Big part of Gurren Lagann. Big part of Tatami Galaxy, which I'm a fan of. So I have pretty high expectations.
I'm told. I didn't even know about this before. I didn't notice it when I did my little like scanning
It's
of the
way
shows.
down on Mal.
Really way down there, and so sure enough, I like when Pete brought it up, I was just like, oh, what is this? And I was just like, oh, this could be good. Like this could actually be pretty good. And like you said, Madhouse, tons of respect for Madhouse has like it's all over the place with its shows because it has High School of the Dead, one of my favorites, right? No Game, No Life. I love it. Everyone else hates it, or a lot of people hate it. I love it. One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, Death Parade, like all of these classics that are like so different from each other. Like it's got Perfect Blue, and then right next to it, A Place Further Than the Universe.
And
Like
Summer
what
Wars,
the fuck?
yeah.
Summer Wars. Like what are these? They're so different. It's just so different.
That's
all the
why I
stuff
love
they've done.
Madhouse.
And it's incredible. Like Girl Left Through Time, which like you can
The most 8 out of 10 anime ever made.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's just incredible their variety that they have, and obviously that just means that they work with a lot of different directors rather than having like one or two that they tend to stick with. But yeah, like you said, this director's done a lot of good stuff. And I could see this being really, really good. At first when I looked at the cover art, I was like, oh, this is Wonder Egg. Like,
it looks I thought it looked like Akira. Like the character designs, they look like late 80s, early 90s. Even the animation looks like, which is
well, it also looks like
dope.
ping pong-ish. It looks a little ping pong-y.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and who did ping pong?
I did that Madhouse?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, I just say Madhouse, and there you go.
Let me look it up real quick. But yeah.
But yeah, I guess I can keep going. I don't know, like yeah, so like it gave me the Wonder Egg vibe where it was just like, oh, it's set at a school and it's mysterious, like like just from that cover art, like not necessarily like the character design isn't the same at all, but the location and the dread that it looks like they might be experiencing, I guess, like they do in Wonder Egg.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for Sonny Boy. Again, I don't know, I'm curious about it. I will definitely like give the episodes 1 or 2 a chance. Not sure I will commit to it, but I am curious at least.
This like when they do shows, like they take a risk, and like how this aesthetic looks so old school, and in 2021, I love that they're doing that. Whether it's good or bad, I love it when they take risks like this. So, this is probably my most looked forward to anime from this season. I think it just like the mystery of like what the fuck is Sonny Boy too. Like I don't know. It's like it could be a death game. It could be like a Lord of the Flies situation. Like I don't know. They're a fucking other dimension inside of like a floating school. I don't know. It looks crazy. Sonny Boy looks so good. It's hard to say because there's just not a whole lot of information on it. So I can't really stress too much about it or talk about it too much, but I think you should definitely check out Sonny Boy, at least the first episode, and just see maybe, like, is it going to be artistic like ping pong? Is it going to be deadly like Perfect Blue? Who knows? It'll be fun to watch. So that's Sonny Boy. And that's our wrap up our summer preview. There were a few shows that I'm going to be watching that we didn't really talk about because it's just like, who cares? I'm gonna be watching.
He's scared to admit it.
Yeah, like I'm standing on a Million Lives season 2, which season 1 was hot garbage, but I love the power system, so I'm going to give season 2 a chance. What's this one called? The Duke of Death and His Maid. I just like that the genres were comedy, drama, romance, so I'm going to give it a shot. I have no idea what's about. Remake, the water polo anime by Mappa.
I saw that. That caught my eye, but I was just like, eh.
Um,
Like sports anime.
I mean, Mappa's getting to that point where anything made by them, I'm probably going to check out. I think they've earned it throughout like the last like 3 years, so I'm definitely going to give that a shot. Kaki Shoujo it just looks really fun. The entire cast are girls. It's drama school signing, and it just looks like a silly I don't know show. It looks really interesting. I'm definitely gonna be reviewing it. We're also gonna be getting some shows that I think are gonna be really cool. We're getting the Resident Evil anime, which is CG like, but I am a giant Resident Evil fan, so I'm gonna be checking that out. And we're also getting like a lot of really good movies. We're getting the deer guy. What's it called? The Deer King by IG looks really good. We're getting the Kakushi Goto movie. We're getting the My Hero movie. We're getting the Free movie. Yeah. We're getting the Fate Grand Order movie. We're also getting Heaven's Feel 3 in theaters. So like we're getting a lot of movie content this season that I will be definitely checking out. Oh, I think we're getting Belle too, which is the Studio Shizu movie, which I cannot fucking wait for. It's gonna be so good. So that concludes our preview. Pat, thank you for joining. Do you have any final words before we head out?
Watch Zombieland Saga.
Yeah.
I will. Revenge. Watch the second season of Zombieland Saga. Holy fuck! Yes. Like watch that. Just watch it.
In 2 weeks, we will be doing our review of Spring. Me and Pat will, if he's available.
I should be. Yep.
So if you are enjoying this season as much as I am, I'm gonna have a lot of nice things to say about the currently airing season. It was what a delight. That being said, we are wrapping up. If you are interested in joining or interacting with us, we have a very active Discord. All of that is in the links below in our socials. If you have social media, I am most active on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter to see up-to-date information on the podcast. We're making it public now. We have started a manga club. It's a book club every 2 weeks on Sundays, Sunday evenings. If you are interested, you just need to join the Discord and have a semi-functioning microphone. That's all we ask. That way you don't blow out our eardrums. It's not too bad. We will be reading...
talking like this. You
Yes.
can't do... yeah.
Like that. We will be reading All You Need Is Kill, which is, if you've ever seen the movie Live, Die, Repeat, it's the manga... That movie is based off that manga. So I'm really looking forward to it because it's my favorite sci-fi movie. We also have Watch Club coming up in a week. We will be watching Drifters.
Yeah.
So look forward to that review. We got a lot of stuff planned coming up. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much. If you're on like YouTube, if you like, comment, subscribe, it helps us beat the evil YouTube algorithm. If you're on Apple Podcast, leave us a review, whether you think we're good or not.
Maybe we'll read it. Who knows?
I read every review.
I mean, read it on
every
podcast,
platform. So if you have nice things to say or bad things, if you have bad things to say, I really like constructive criticism. I will do my best to work on things that you think are bad. If you're on like Spotify, I think there's like a subscribe button too. So if you do that, it helps us. Help me help you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, baby? Help me help you. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.